featured Mark Merde and the Barbershop Crew. Find us on Facebook, X, and Snapchat at OSP with MM. On Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Original Sports Podcast, and on Twitch at OSP with Mark Merde. Find our link tree and other socials in the description. Much thanks to our supporters, Scotty's Vodka, Rockwell Brewery, and Belisario's Pizza.
Episode 4, Season 6. You got me now? All right. I don't know why that happens every time. Good to see you guys tonight. We got some things to talk about. We're going to talk a little Steeler football, I guess. We're going to get down and dirty with the AFC North, too, because we're getting closer every week. There's only three preseason games, am I right?
That's it.
Damn, Watson, that's hard to believe.
Watson, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Watson and Chops are on mute.
Somehow I hit it. Well, do you guys remember when there used to be 4, and then they said they dropped it to 3? And some people you say they know after 2, who's making it or whatever have you. Do you really think it only takes 2 games to realize who's on your 53? Because you know who your starters are.
Yeah.
That third game helps for coaches to see who they want, or does that third game help guys who are fringe players get out a little bit more tape for other teams?
I think that I think that third game, or when it was the 4th game, I think they put those guys in position where they think they're going to play them once the season kicks off the next week. Now it's 2 weeks later, but I think they start doing that kind of stuff to give them a feel of what it's going to be like in game live action at the position they're going to play. I don't know. I'm not out there coaching, but that's what I would do.
So there are only 3 games now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm waiting. I'm out of the loop. Oh, really? I thought we had 4 last year.
No,
3.
Man,
3.
I'm out the loop.
One of the things
on their way to going to 7, adding an extra game onto the year is what they're doing.
One of the things that's a trip about it, though, is the fact that there's 2 weeks between that last preseason game and then the first regular season game. Yeah. So that's a lot of time.
But wasn't that always the thing, or at least 10 days from your last preseason game? They went, next week?
No, it might have been 10 days, but no. Last few years when they were playing 4 games and they kicked off on Thursday night, they were good. Usually the last preseason game is on like a Thursday or Friday now.
Yeah,
and it's always been on a Thursday or Friday, but now it's, it's just a little different. They mix that up. I think eventually this thing is gonna start more in August, like the Hall of Fame and all that stuff is gonna start just a little bit later in August, so you don't got all that time off between your last preseason game and then your first game. Because once you all notice, you all played sports, you all played football. Once you get out of that groove for a couple weeks, sometimes it's hard to get that mentality when oh shit, I don't need to really kick it up till next week when we're playing. Like that was always a big knock on Tomlin. Like he had a hard time getting those dudes fired up coming back after that break. Now I don't necessarily blame it on him, but as adult males playing a professional sport like that, you need to be able to get yourself fired up sometimes too. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what though? There must be something to that long, because they make it a big thing where this coach or that coach has a great record after a bye week. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what, but
it depends what you do with them.
Yeah,
it depends what I bet you there are some coaches who are like, okay, you can have a couple of days off, but I really don't want you leaving the country to go to, Jamaica, going to Jamaica for 6 days. I bet you there are some guys who want them to stay mentally in the focus. I mean,
I believe that in a heartbeat.
All right. So, season 6, episode 4, packed show tonight. We're going to start by going around the sports world a little bit. Well, I'm going to push that off to the end, fellas. I'm going to push going around the sports world a little bit. I think what we'll get right into is preseason 1, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's just go specifically with the NFL. What did you see good? What did you see good in a game that made you go, that mug is okay, or he's going to be all right? And I'm not talking Steelers. Stay away from Steelers to start with.
I can go.
Go ahead, Waddy.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to start out with Ty Simpson out there at the Rams. I thought that was, when they picked him, I thought it was a very interesting pick, especially at 14. And then he goes out, the other day there, and he balled out. I believe
he did.
21 out of 25, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very composed for his first NFL game, regardless of who's on the field. It didn't matter to me. He looked pretty good. Looked real good.
Sheen, who you got? Sheen, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. My phone hit me. Hey, I'm going to say Dallas, the Dallas passing game, man. It still looks good, even with Lamb and Pickens not in the game. Turpin with the one-hand catch. I think they're going to be passing a lot because they're probably going to be behind because their defense isn't that great. Well, on paper, it's not that great. So I think they're going to be passing a lot. So, but if it comes to it, I think they'll be all right there with that passing game.
Chops?
Honestly, believe it or not, I still thought the Seahawks, even though your boy Beck didn't start whatever, not saying they're going to be, from running away, but and I know it was their second game, so maybe that's not fair. Not Seahawks. I'm sorry. The Cardinals from the
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Yeah. Maybe I apologize, but they still weren't. They didn't look as good as last week with Beck, whatever have you. And I understand, but I just thought they were a little bit more solid than I expected them to be. When I heard Beck wasn't playing, now somebody else playing, I just expected the wheels to fall off and it to look like them to look like a junior high team. Not that they look great, but better than I expected.
Fellas, I think I texted you about this. Was it Denver that was playing Atlanta? Is that what I texted you? I think it was Denver that was playing Atlanta. It was 24-0 when I put that game on. Like, I was like, what is going on here? Atlanta's awful. They're awful.
So, is it safe to say that's your good, bad, and ugly?
Oh, it easily could be. I could say Denver was good. I could tell you Atlanta was just awful, and I could definitely say it was an ugly first half at least. I mean, I don't know. Stefanski, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't know if Stefanski has the right quarterback for his system. I don't know if he has a quarterback for his system. Like, you got Tua and Penix, 2 left-handed quarterbacks.
Hey, listen, I know y'all don't like me to call people bums, but Penix is a bum. Sorry. I'm just telling you.
Here's the thing.
Compared to Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, and those guys, dude's a bum.
And here's the thing. And you're right, Sheen, because I feel you. No, I'm not saying I agree with you on Penix, only because he was in a terrible system last year.
Yes.
Starting off new this year. We don't know. Now, again, he did play in the Pac-10, which I'm not a huge Pac-10 fan, but he was slinging that thing in college, so we know he can throw. It's different in the NFL. I just don't know if I can label him a waste of a draft pick or whatever just yet, only because I haven't seen him do it.
Fair. That's fair.
Because I think he's hurt. I still don't think your boy in Indianapolis, Daniel Jones, is like that. I just don't see it. But he got out of New York. He got in a different scheme, and now they're talking. They act like he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Didn't they pay him decent?
Yeah,
they paid him. They paid him decent, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So we'll see. At one point, they kept Daniel Jones over Saquon in New York. I didn't see it, but now with the new squad, so I don't know. Maybe if Penix was under different tutelage, then maybe it could. I just don't know.
Pretty quiet in New York. Don't y'all think it's pretty quiet coming out of Giants camp this year? Like, you don't hear much about what's going on. I did read today they just tested Dart again for concussion.
I was going to say that. He got smashed, bro. He got crushed.
Well, did you see his reply? He's like, he was upset that he had to go into the medical tank.
He laid there.
The quarterback. Secondly, how would it have looked had they not taken him at least into the tent after that hit?
Well, he also laid there, Chops. It's not like he jumped right up. He like laid there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
but
let's go to the opposite.
That's what my bad was. Good, bad, bad and ugly, terrible.
Let's go the opposite way, and I'm going to start this. Jacoby Lane, that boy from the Ravens. Maybe they finally found a number one. I mean,
wow.
Maybe we'll see.
Well, I guess I'm the only one who's not seeing what everybody else is seeing with your boy Zay Flowers. I just don't see it. But then again, hell,
nobody sees it.
Yeah.
No. All our people, I don't know about Sheen's people down here or Waddy's people down here. All my people down here are like, they just wasted a lot of money on him.
Okay.
They wasted a lot. Everybody I talked to that's a Ravens fan was like,
Yeah. I don't even think Zay Flowers sees it.
What's that mean?
I don't even think Zay Flowers sees it.
No, but he got a bag though. He got a bag.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
All money ain't good money. But all right, let's move it.
All right, go ahead.
We're going bad. I'm going Andy Dalton, going 3 for 6 and 20 yards. 3.3 average. They had 81 total yards in the first half. Next.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
Yes, Andy Dalton. Next.
I got the Miami Dolphins. Oh, my. They're terrible. They're just terrible. I don't even have an explanation for that mess. Wow.
You know what I saw from them, though? There's a boy from Northwest who played left tackle. He played all the first half, and then he played a little bit in the second half. Gaudy, Wabe, whatever in the hell his last name. I can't pronounce his last name. I had him in soccer class. They found that boy walking the halls at my high school. He went and played at Frostburg, and when he played at Frostburg, he legit was like a top 20 tackle in the country. Not for big schools, like legit. But he wanted to play one more year. Went to Maryland, had some injury stuff. Got drafted number 1 overall in the UFL I want to say 2 years ago. And then he turned that down. He went into he was in the Raiders camp. Went and played in the UFL this year. He was the top-rated offensive tackle in the UFL. Wow. And Miami signed him. But Noobs and I were talking about this today. Shout out to Noobs. Because Noobs talks to him still quite a bit. He helped him quite a bit. And he said that they like him a lot. They like his versatility so much that he can be a swing tackle or he could play guard. So there's some serious speculation he's going to make that squad there, which will be pretty cool. I think. What was ugly out there besides the Dolphins and in Atlanta?
Honestly, I thought about the Packers. I thought about as well the Eagles. Where these teams, I know they didn't run their starters much, but they only scored 6, 7, less than 10 points. So you're telling me with your backups, they can't put points on the board? And I understand your backups, they're not going to put 35, 31 on the board. But you'd like to see them put at least 10 to 14. And when they're going less than that in a game, you figure the defense would have a breakdown and you might get a cheap 7. You know what I mean? Or at least they have a fumble and you get in field goal range right off the rip. But that to me, that's what was bad to me is, taking away the obvious, the Falcons, whatever have you, that kind of stuff where your offense did nothing.
Yeah, I agree. Sheen, how about you? What was ugly?
Well, I had penalties, and I'm not going to say what team because y'all told me not to. So I got to go to ugly, bad performance. I was watching Shedeur Sanders. He threw a couple good passes. Then he threw this one that was so damn high. Beanie Bishop had to fair catch it. And then Beanie Bishop, you remember that name? He caught it. Then he took off. Yeah.
It was a punt return.
It was bad. It was like, I don't even know how he did that. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, but fellas, honestly, at this point, shame on us. Just being honest, shame on us for even talking about the Browns. And I'm being serious. Doesn't matter who their quarterback is. Doesn't matter who their coach is. You can go from any point you want. Roster, coaches, they're just terrible. They're terrible. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
so it's safe to say the Browns will be the ugly. Okay, all right, let's move it.
Waddy, you got a different ugly Waddy.
Yes, I do. I actually have an injury. The player, which is Jamal Adams, was just signed July 27th, and now he's out for the season. You can't. I mean, you pay somebody that, and then you expect them to give you something. And man,
is that the old guy from the Jets? Is that him?
He was at the Raiders,
but he played for the Jets too. Like, he's like a bigger safety, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jamal Adams, he played. Yeah.
He's probably done then for his career, probably at this point.
I think he's. How does he say? 30 something.
He's 30. He's 30.
Okay.
Yep, he's 30. He wanted a bag. He got a bag going from the Jets to the Raiders, and he's just kind of disappeared into the oblivion. And that's too bad. I don't like seeing that for a guy. I got to comment on that Cleveland thing though. They don't have a quarterback on their roster, fellas.
They had 6 of them.
They got too many guys on the roster. They don't have a quarterback on that roster.
Mark,
you know.
Hold on. Okay, so let me ask you this seriously.
Well, we can get into them later, actually.
Okay,
yes.
I mean,
yeah. Let me just leave that at that.
That could be an all-day conversation.
Final question as we move out of this little segment here, though. Final question. Any team out there that you're like, this shit's going to carry over to the regular season, they're going to be bad. Anybody that you could think of, or any, like that you saw? Yeah, I know it was week 1, but anybody like I know Atlanta's going to be bad. I know that.
Wow.
Anybody else? Dolphins going to be bad?
Yeah.
Is that just Cleveland's going to be bad?
Yes.
Or the Cardinals going to be a sneaky sleeper? Is that what we might think here?
I don't want to say sneaky sleeper, but the quarterback,
right, the play.
Yeah, it's going to be up and down.
Yes.
And he'll fool you at some point in time, and he'll probably sneak out a win here or there, but then he's also going to cost you a game here or there.
Yeah.
And Marvin Harrison Jr. is knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
waiting on a quarterback.
And
I hope so. I hope so.
Me though about quarterback or about wide receivers, we get a lot of guys, wide receivers, or divers, this, that, whatever. But that is the one position where if they don't have a quarterback, they're never going to get the bag. I don't care how talented you are. I still think Marvin Harrison is talented, but when he doesn't have a quarterback, that plays a lot into it. Unless they can get trickeration with him, and finding ways to get him the ball, he's not going to get his bag. He's not going to shine. Mine is the Panthers. I don't see the Panthers getting any better. I just don't. They can. I know they almost made the playoffs or went 500 last year.
They made the playoffs.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
All right, fellas, how about this? The Steelers and Packers. Steelers won that thing 28-9. We saw Mason Rudolph start the game. He played against some ones, mostly a combination, let's say a combination of 1s and 2s. Will Howard comes in. He plays against the 2s, maybe a smattering of 3s. Then we get Drew Aller, who comes in. He plays against 3s, 4s, Costco workers, guys on practice teams. Yeah, he plays against a smattering of those guys. Should we be excited as Steeler fans, like I know the homers are, should we be excited about what Drew Aller did, throwing for 2 and running for 1?
Yes. And for me, I say that because remember when he came out of Penn State, remember what we all kind of said here. What basically we didn't know if he was should even make the team. He didn't have the right footwork. He didn't have the right skills. Well, I don't care. Like I said, those other guys are NFL guys also. And
right.
Went out there and he showed what he had to do against the 3s. Now
he did. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he'll go up with the 2s. Is he a 1? By no means. No way. Not yet. But let's see what he does against the 2s.
I like that.
He might be knocking on the door of basically is Rudolph, can you ship him away this year? if not this year, are we done with him next year?
I like that.
And because of some of the things Waddy said, I'm not excited about it, and here's why. He was a third round pick, so you're expected to make the team. And like is Sheen said, some of Costco players, third stringers, with that, whatever have you. So, and they now if they had let him throw some 20-yard plus, and he was 2 for 4 on 20 yards plus passes in the air. Oh, all right, cool. He was putting it there. So we knew he was getting nice NIL money. He's a third round draft pick. He's been a college starter for 2-3 seasons. So he did what I expected for him to do, because you're drafted higher than all those guys. So that to me was not what was on. The one that impressed me, that I was impressed with, was Will Howard. And the reason, because that was the first action we've seen of him. And I understand he wasn't throwing the ball 10, 12, 15 yards down the field. But what impressed me was, and even if they were twos or some guys that won't make them the team, he didn't make any of the plays worse. Even when he scrambled out, he only one play to me did he hold it too long. And I think he might have had a half-yard gain where he was out of the pocket. He could have thrown it away. But he read if there was a breakdown. I don't even say breakdown line, but if somebody got through, he had the wheels to get out into the flat and get rid of it. I liked it. The moment didn't look too big for him. That's what I liked about Will Howard. So,
right. But back
in my eyes went up.
But back to Drew Aller. You said he was a third round pick, so he was expected to do this, right?
Against now. Let me hold on real quick. Again, but he was throwing those short crossing routes, which we still seem to. And I want him to open it up a little bit. I want him to open.
I mean, he there was a rollout where he skipped the rollout and went to the second level. I mean, my thing is, you said that he was a third round pick, so he should have been. And he did what he was supposed to do. He did. That's what he did. Like, if he came in and went 3 for 6 like Andy Dalton, then me and Watson might be saying no. Yeah. But yeah, everything Watson said, I agree with that part. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta say, from my perspective, I like the leadership and the poise of Will Howard.
Yeah, I mean, Howard was great
against number twos. Yeah. I love the athleticism and how far Drew Aller has come under the tutelage of Mike McCarthy, because he ripped that son of a gun down to the studs. That's what he did. That's what we heard. He had to rip that boy down to the studs because the coaching was so poor. And I don't care if you're a Penn State fan or not. I don't like Frank, whatever the hell his name is. I don't think he's a good coach. Yeah, I think he is a recruiter and does a good job of getting the talent. I don't think he knows how to use and develop the talent, okay? And he ruined that kid, just like he ruined that kid that was there when he first got there. I can't think of the kid's name, but he ended up leaving as soon as Franklin got there, got drafted by the Jets and didn't make it.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Okay? So I don't dislike what Allard did, but I don't think you anoint him the next one. I don't think he is. I need to see him play against. I need to see him play against twos at least. Yes. How about that? I need to see him play against twos.
Do we know next week if they're going to switch? Is he going to get some two?
We don't know anything yet.
He has.
We don't know anything. Now,
I think you're talking about Christian Hackenberg.
Oh, that's who was.
Why do you bring up a good point? Because to me, if you plan on doing that, move Howard and let him run with the ones. Because you already know what you have with Mason. You already know.
Right. I agree.
And I'd like to see them let both Aller and Howard open it up. Did you guys see any of the Titans game? They were letting Malik, and again, he's supposed to be the starter, and it was against ones and twos, and maybe guys will be on the field, but they were letting Malik Willis throw it down the field a little bit.
Wait. Titans is Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Then who?
Miami.
Miami. Then it was.
Yeah.
Was it Malik?
Yes.
Ward? Cam Ward? Got to throw it a little bit. I think it was. Yeah. But okay. So then that you let him in there like it's preseason. Let him sling it a little bit. I'd like to say the only thing I didn't like about Howard, for lack of a better term, fellas, he was letting it rather than letting it go and getting it there. He's throwing 8-10 yards if that, and he was almost he was aiming rather than just throwing. Some of the guys were waiting for the passes rather than them getting there on a line. So
I want you to think about this, though. This is his first action since he played at Ohio State.
I know.
And how many weeks was he in camp? 2 weeks before he got hurt, and they sat his ass the rest of the year until he got healthy, and then he just started practicing. Like that was a legit rookie out there as well. I don't care what you say.
And I guess why it bothered me because he made the right reads. He was to me. I thought he made the right reads, but I didn't think he threw it with the same conviction as he. But I was impressed with Will Howard. I really was. I was impressed with him walking away.
It will be interesting to see how these two battle it out.
Yeah,
they start playing legit guys that are going to be on the roster and make a contribution in regular season. That's hey, let's move on to the O-line. Before Chops goes off on this, I agree with him about the right side. I agree with him about Fatanu, but you know what? Unlike Mike Tomlin, who would have gave us some whatever, he'd have gave us some, we're going to keep working with him. We're going to with these guys. No. McCarthy comes back. That Monday, he changes that tackle to Robert Jones. He changes that guard to the guy they signed from the Cowboys. Like, wait, what the hell is that? Yeah, Hoffman. He made the changes right away. He said, I ain't playing this game. We ain't doing this. And now he's going to let Cook. He's going to let Cook take some reps at that tackle, but apparently they're waiting for Ahanachor. Is that how you say his name, Ahanachor?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, Big Mac. We were calling Big Max. Yeah. He's waiting for that kid to get out there because they were praising the shit out of his feet, his contact points, and his nastiness in practice. So he's waiting for that. This is one that bothers me, though, that Jennings Dunker, the native Pittsburgh. He looked like a native Pittsburgher, by the way, with that mullet-ass head. It disappoints me that he didn't pick the system up quicker, but I do foresee him getting reps there inevitably. So I don't know. The offensive line was just not like we talked about, though. But you know, Waddy, we coached for how many years together? The offensive line is the last thing to come together.
It is.
The offense, the defense is ahead of the offense. The skill positions are ahead of the line.
We got to turn chops loose. Go.
Seriously, but because of that is why, and I know I'm on an island with this, but that is why I was hoping they would have traded away that first round pick for a proven Pro Bowl lineman, whatever have you, only to help as a coach on it, because everybody's young. Everybody is young. And that's and no disrespect, because he's better than I am. But Broderick Jones, I'm not going to call him a bum, but he just, to me, is not. At some point, you're a first round pick. At what point do you start playing? Like, and I know he had the neck injury. He coming off the neck injury. But before he had the neck injury, we were calling him a drive killer ourselves. He get a holding penalty, this, that, whatever. I just don't know if Jones is going to be the man. Is he going to solidify that line? Is this the year he turns around? And I don't know. I just don't know, man. So
I know probably not. I think that injury set him back. That injury probably set him back. I don't think he's going to be the answer now. I think if he hadn't got hurt, he might have had an opportunity, probably would have been a little bit better position to do that. But with that injury, I think the setback is too much. They said with the weight loss, he didn't look aggressive out there. So I was a little bit worried about that when watching him. There was one play where they kind of looked at that, they honed in on him, and you just saw him, and he looked like just kind of running around, and dude didn't touch anybody. And I'm like, oh,
I feel bad for that kid.
Yeah,
I feel bad for that kid.
What's going on?
I feel bad for that kid. He's what, 23, 24 years old. He's a young kid. He might only be 23. I think we drafted him at 20.
Yeah.
Am I right? Did we draft him at 20 years old? Sheen, check that out for me.
I know he was young.
Yeah. The backfield, I don't know what to say about that because all we saw was number 3 and number 4. Where the hell was Caleb Johnson?
Well, Caleb Johnson gonna be on the street somewhere looking for a job. That's where he gonna be, because that they told him everything he needed to know in that scrimmage right there.
Yeah,
they told him everything. You're not gonna be on this team. I mean,
that's unbelievable to me.
Here's the thing: that's 2 coaching staffs, to coordinators, to running backs coaches, to head coach, and nobody's saying he's worthy. I just don't get it though, because they say from at the running back position that rookie year to your second year is when they make the biggest jump. A lot of times make the most improvement. And I thought if anything else, if they say, well, he doesn't pick up blitzes or he can't pass block, but I thought for sure the running aspect of it would fall. He would have no issue with it. And he can't
number one thing you got to do in NFL though as a running back is you have to be able to pick up that
pass block. Yeah, you have to be able to. Yeah, without a doubt.
But you know what? But you guys talk about the coaching aspect of it, fellas. We're seeing running back by committee on so many different teams now, to where in certain block pass or certain plays when they know it's a pass play, you could take him out, but they're not even letting him run the ball. To where we know he can run. That I don't want to say it bothers me, but it's like, wow.
I didn't look at the pass run ratio, but I felt like we passed the ball a hell of a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like we played NFL football for a change.
Yeah.
I didn't.
On the running backs, I like Lou Nichols. For some reason, they want to keep Travis Homer because they say he's a special teams guy. How many special teams guys do we need? I thought Stronick was a special teams guy.
I know.
Well, that special teams they played the other day, they might want to get some new guys because that was terrible.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick because I had this conversation with Noob again today. First time I've seen Noob since the end of the school year. First of all, they just telling those guys to run down the field and hit somebody or hit the first guy that comes into their zone. They probably didn't even use any kind of plays. Now, if this was scrimmage number 3, when we've done enough cuts that we're putting guys out there on special teams that are playing for that final spot, they're playing for the spot they're going to have every week, and we look like some shit like that, I agree. I'm going to throw him a bone on that first week of special teams. I miss Danny though. Man, I miss Danny. Oh, I miss Danny.
Can we go back to the running backs again? How many did you keep? 4?
The boy from Navy. You can lock in the boy from Navy on the practice. The boy from Navy is going to be on a practice squad.
Okay. Because he's hometown, or you really think he's like that and he should be on the roster?
I think he should be on the roster before Travis.
I think it's a mixture of both. I would say a mixture of both.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
3? Shit.
3 and then 1 on the practice squad.
Okay. All right.
You might even – hey, you know what, though, Waddy? You might even have 2 on the practice squad. You know how backs go down. Yeah. You're guaranteed Jaylen Warren's going to go down at least at some point with some sort of hamstring injury for a good 3 or 4 weeks.
So what 3 would you say, Waddy? Because, I mean, of course, Dowdle and Warren, but –
yeah. Right now, probably Nichols.
Okay.
Probably Nichols.
And then you're going to put Homer and Heidenreich on the practice squad, Day. Is what you're saying?
I think Homer will go out. He'll go somewhere else. He might end up putting Caleb Johnson on the practice squad. I think if you cut Homer loose and think you're going to re-sign him to the practice squad, I think somebody will pick him up for special teams reasons, and then he'll be like their 3rd back or 4th back or whatever he is projected to be. We'll say that.
If Johnson were to get cut, if he can't pick it up a running back, I don't see Johnson as a special teamer.
No, he's not.
So hypothetically, if you were to keep Johnson if you were to keep Homer over Johnson, you have multiple positions with Homer. If it's running back, if it's special teams, whatever. But Johnson, you got a running back. That's it.
I personally need to see Johnson start the game against the Jets, get 10 carries, 8 carries. I want to see him run downhill. I want to see him with a top-tier group. I don't want to see him with the Fours or the Costco boys or anything like that. I don't want to see that. I want to see him running the ball with what we call legit guys in front of him. Let's move on to the receivers real quick. Who'd you like better, Roman Wilson or Jeremy Bernard? And I know before you say that, you better back that one up because both of them played well. I agree with you, Waddy, though. Jeremy Bernard's a gamer.
Oh, he's a gamer. That's all I needed. The lights came on, and my man came to play. That's all I needed.
Well, I mean, can they all play? Can they all play in the 4 wide set?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's, honestly, that was my thing. Is I don't honestly, like I said, I could make points for both of them. Like I said, Bernard, young cat, he came lights on, he came to play.
Yeah.
Wilson, he's out of Tomlin's doghouse. Tomlin's no longer there. Is he getting a real shot with this coaching staff? Because I always thought he could play. He was hard nosed. He was tough. I could make it a point to keep both of them.
Yeah. I want to say the Achilles heel for Wilson was the fact that he came from Michigan, and that's not known as a passing school. So what did they see in him when he was at Michigan that made them go ahead and use a 3rd rounder on him? Like, he might have been around. He might have been around the 5th round.
JJ McCarthy.
It was probably the JJ McCarthy camp. Yeah, his pro day. Stephen Smith said it was a good pro day, and now you got this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you like about the defense? Go ahead, Marty.
Bernard is just so much more talented. I mean, he catches the ball.
Wise, yeah.
I mean, and it's yak all day. I mean,
so much more.
Crazy.
Like, wow. Okay.
I think
talent,
I do.
Yeah, talent. I think
man.
If Wilson makes it, Wilson, it's his heart like a Hines Ward that gets him going. Where Bernard has this skill set. Yeah.
Before I move on to these last 2 pieces, which are going to be defense and bubble players, were you excited about the offense for a change? Did the offense excite you? Yeah. Even though it was preseason, did that excite you a little bit?
Yeah. I liked a lot of the passing, the pass plays, more guys out in the route. Like I said, when Alar had 3, he had the out, he had the second guy, and there was a guy coming on the backside. I mean, yeah, I liked it.
They were flooding zones. They were using concepts. They were attacking the defense instead of letting the defense attack them. And I've always said that when Canada, when all those other guys, the only guy, I know we didn't like him, but good old Todd, man, his passing game wasn't what killed him. It was how he threw the passes. Everything was a quick screen off to the side because he wanted to play it safe. Steelers were going downfield with the ball. The middle of the field was being used too. So if you go look at the spray chart, they really did a much better job.
Yeah,
that gets me excited to see what's going to happen when a guy like Aaron Rodgers steps in, who I'm actually hoping this week he goes out there for 1, maybe 2 series. I'd like to see him just kick the rust off.
I think it depends on if he's got his 2 receivers. I think if Metcalf and Pittman don't play, I don't think you see Rodgers.
But you got to kick the rust off, even for those dudes. Are those dudes really hurt?
Agree.
Well, hold on, fellas, because when you talk about kick the rust off, the O-line still not meshing and they're trying new guys in new positions. You can't run anything where he has to hold the ball too long. Rodgers already has the timing. I don't care who. You could take an old lady from St. Gertrude's Bingo Hall, and he'll get them on a 4 or 5 yard slant. Yeah, he can do that in his sleep. So I wouldn't want him to risk. Seriously, I don't want to risk him getting hurt. That's the only problem, man, because until you let him go down the field, that O-line isn't there. He's not trying to be funny. He's going to sit here. He can wake up and throw an 8-10 yard slant. That ain't nothing for him. You know what I mean?
Just feel like they need to look. I just feel like they need to hit the ground running hard this year, right out of the gates. First drive, they get the ball, whether they're on defense to start or not. They need to get the ball in their hands and start moving the damn thing down the field. Honestly, if we got to pop in, it just needs to happen.
Week 1 is the 4th preseason game. For what I saw from Atlanta, week 1 is the 4th. Seriously, I'm honest. Rodgers has not had a 300-yard game in like whatever. He's having one opening day in action.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be here.
And Hines, he's having one. He's having 3. Yeah.
The defense, were you happy? Because I know Watson, you got to kick this off about this defense. Where are you at with it?
Dude, I'm excited. I can't. I mean, I saw things that we hadn't done since Dick LeBeau. For real. I mean, you got guys doing things that are different. You got corners out there that are on guys. They're not, 10 yards off, which, they're trying to come up. I mean, dude, it makes you it will allow for turnovers. It makes the offense now say, what are you actually doing? I mean, it's crazy.
It'd be 3rd and 1, and they get the corners at 10 yards off. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, but see, to me, that also goes as a group. This is one of the better groups of corners we've had in a while.
It
They
But
is.
you're not playing with JPJ.
I know you're right.
Now, somebody put that man on notice because I can tell you, hey, you don't want to play this year. That's fine because the Samuels will take your job. Because right now
He's only 26 years old.
Yeah,
you know what? Balling. He's only 26 years old.
He balling.
I don't know.
He got my game ball.
Is to be available. And
Here's
he ain't available right
now. It was brought to my attention, so I don't want to act like I knew it. But he's never given up a touchdown.
We know that. He's not even practicing though. You think he's? I'm sorry. He's playing. Go ahead.
Dog is a corner. I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen. Touchdown. You got to give that. You got to respect that.
This is what's going to happen. He's going to come back. He'll sign whatever contract he's going to have. And because you haven't been in gameplay as a corner, doing all the turning, the twisting, the running backwards, you're not.
He's going to pull something.
Exactly. They had a thing. I saw it last year, and there was about 10 or 15 players they went through. Any guy that is held out, that when he holds out.
Yes.
Well, not so much got hurt, but they put their numbers that season were significantly less than their other 2 or 3 seasons preceding that. So you do, you know what I mean? So you do lose something. But, and again, I wasn't a big Porter fan. And when I say I wasn't a big Porter fan, because it would always bother me, he'd get the pass interferences, and I was like, well, that's just, I'll take that because that's effort. But when he hasn't given up a touchdown, fella, that's hard to replace, brothers. That's hard to replace, fellas.
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah,
he'll be back.
But what game is he going to get hurt in? Because that's what's going to happen. It's too much twisting, too much turning, man.
And why
you're not doing it live
about what the defense was doing? That I'm holding off until week 1 because I want to see those blitz packages because I know everybody's vanilla now, so nobody's really blitzing. That's what I want to see.
A little bit up. They were doing a little bit. You saw it.
That's what I want to see when,
I got to tell you, professional athletes, especially football players, are the only people I know that are under contract and they sit out from doing their job. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine watching if our contract was up and we're like, no, we ain't teaching until you up our salary starting next year? That shit doesn't happen in real life. They need to go to that dude, any of these guys, and be like, sorry, that's not the way it works. You get on the field practice, and we'll talk about extending your contract. But you sitting out because you want a better contract? Yeah. Nah,
yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Hold on. But I'm looking at the guy, Kenny Thiese, but Marcellus Wiley, when he was playing, they told him to play, and he had an abdominal tear. And they told him it was just a strain, and he continued to play, and his numbers went down. So at the end of the season, this team ripped him off and did him dirty on his contract. So these guys that will play, if Porter gets hurt now, trying to be the guy, what was the one safety for that? What was it, Earl? What was that one safety for the? I
know you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
He blew his knee. He blew his knee out from Seattle.
Yeah. And Mark, but also in the same thing, football players are the only players that literally all they give when they retire, these guys are dying from CTE. These guys are so it's a little bit of give and take. I understand they hold out. That's the only sport that does that. But also they're risking things that other sports aren't risking, brother. I mean,
you can't convince me that because I watch hockey. Don't even go down that road with me.
Then start. Hold on. Then faster, more aggressive than football, and it's nonstop. Mark, they're getting hit every play in football. They're not getting hit every play in hockey. And I'd like to see the numbers over the last 10 years. How many hockey players have CTE compared to the number of football?
You're talking about linemen get hit every play. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
Joey Porter ain't getting hit every play out there on an island. That ain't happening.
Well,
the safety, unless you're coming downhill to make a tackle constantly, I got you, Shane. Thank you.
So let me ask you this. How many guys in hockey tear an ACL every year? Because they're on skates, and changing direction on skates compared to your foot and on feet has got to be significantly different. We see guys in football tearing ACLs, this, that, whatever, that you're not seeing as much in hockey. I understand they're hitting ice and they're checking and they don't have the pads that they have in football. Right. But I don't know, man. I'd like to see those numbers. Now you got a good point. I'd like to check numbers on that. Because to be honest with you, fellas, not change subject. I didn't know cheerleaders get concussions. Never even thought about it. never thought about cheerleaders getting concussions, and they do. They're talking about how cheerleaders, but I would like to. I'm going to start looking into that. What it is now? I know the hockey players walk around no teeth because they're getting hit with pucks in the mouth, but I don't know, Mark. That's
game balls, y'all. Game balls. Come on now.
Yeah. Who got your
ball.
game ball? We got to hurry through this because we're already shit. We got 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Chops, who got your game ball?
Oh man, I like from the Drew Howard or Will Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Will Howard.
Will Howard.
I just like what he did. Will Howard.
Okay.
Waddy?
Oh, Bernard. Yeah. Bernard, no doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
Asante Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm giving it to Gabriel Rubio.
Okay.
Yeah, he had 6 tackles. He was second on the team in tackles.
Yeah,
he flashed hard. He earned
somebody ain't making the team. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He flashed hard. He's a big boy too.
Yeah,
he's big. He's big. All right, let's move on. Ravens. Here's what we're gonna do, fellas, because we're really under time constraints here. Ravens. Biggest strength. What's their biggest strength? Let's go, Chops. What's the Ravens' biggest strength?
It's their offense, without question. It's their offense, and I still say their running game because you still have a quarterback in Lamar that can run, and you have Henry, and I gotta believe all this money they're playing Zay Flowers. He's going to see some end arounds. He's going to see some trick plays that rushes. I got to go with their rush. I got to go with their rush, and I have to.
Team Ravens.
Biggest concern?
No strength.
I got QB play. It starts and ends with Lamar.
Yep, I got it. Kevin, what do you think?
Same thing. It's a run game.
Fellas, I'm gonna actually go. It's going to be their biggest concern for me. I'm going to stick with their run game, like you guys. But I think Mark Andrews he's got to be visible. He's the only tight end on that roster right now. They let everything the other two walk. He's that's not his strength at all. So my biggest concern for them is their pass rush, and I don't think Trey Hendrickson. I'm not sold on Trey Hendrickson, fellas. I'm sorry, I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I look at his when I go look at his body of work, he might prove me wrong. I'll eat crow if he proves me wrong. But when I look at his body of work with Cincinnati, first of all, he stood out because that was a terrible defense. First of all, he was right there. But on the other side of that, on the other side of that, what happens when he can't stop the run for the Ravens, because the Ravens are a run-stopping team, let's face it. And Trey Hendrickson ain't known as a run stopper. So that's what my biggest concern is. Waddy?
Mine is can Lamar stay healthy?
Healthy.
Yeah. Can he? Because if he goes, they go. If he don't go, they don't go.
That's right. Sheen, what you got?
I got defense also. I mean, I think they were one of the only teams that were giving up leads in the fourth quarter. I forget how many it was, but it was a lot.
Chops got it. I know Chops is going to give us that number.
And it's the defense, because over the last 3 seasons, no defense has given up more fourth quarter double-digit leads than the Ravens. So it's that defense for me. It's that entire defense.
Who's the player to watch? Who's the player to watch for them? I'm going to say Jacoby Lane.
Get out of here, Mark. Probably keep saying the same thing. I got it written down right here, Jacoby Lane.
Now look, I mean, that's who they're hanging their hat on. They're hanging their hat on him changing that pass game.
I'm going Zay Flowers. They just paid you all that money, and I know you hear a lot of people like, why? So I think it's Zay Flowers. And I don't care, like Waddy talked about Lamar getting hurt. I don't care if Lamar gets hurt and they're down their second, third guy. They got to go to Zay Flowers. And they pay you that much money, you got to produce, bro. I don't care how they get you the ball. You got to produce. So mine's Zay Flowers.
What you got, Waddy?
Oh, same as you guys. Yeah, exact same.
Lane.
Yeah.
Lane.
All right, let's jump into Cincinnati, fellas. The roster, is it good enough for the quarterback? Because we know he could be legit if he's healthy too. Offensively,
yes. Defensively, no.
I'd say this. I say the same thing, and one of the commentators said it on one of the sports channels. I said, if they can make 2 stops a game, the defense, 2 stops, Joe Burrow can outscore you with the receivers and the offense, the running back. Can they do that? I don't know.
Name someone who plays defense for the Bengals. Go.
Dexter Lawrence.
They just brought him.
Okay. I saw Dexter Lawrence.
That's it. So
now here's the problem with Dexter Lawrence, though. Go ahead, Chops. I shouldn't cut you off like that.
We're talking about their offense. Yes, their offense is good enough, but we talked about this. What was it, last year, the year before? Joe Burrow talking about he possibly wanted to trade. You asked them to sign your 2 receivers. You were getting a King's ransom. Then you want your receivers signed to King's ransom. You know how the cap works. So they're getting they got what they want. Now they don't want what they got. You wanted a high-paid offense? Well, this is what happens. The defense has to suffer. So, yeah, we know that offensive roster is good enough. We know it. Can the defense stop a nosebleed is what we're going to see.
Well, Dexter Lawrence is going to be able to clog that middle, but he ain't a pass rusher. No. And that's where the problem's going to come in. At least you got pass rush out of Trey Henderson. He couldn't stop the run, but you got some pass rush out of him when he was healthy. That man missed 10 games last year. Trey Hendrickson. When you
run away from Lawrence, who you running to?
Yeah.
Whoever I want to.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even know who's out there. We don't even know. That's crazy.
Isn't that sad? That's sad. All right. Let's jump to the last team. Who's going to start week 1 for the Cleveland Browns? And then who's going to start week 17? Tell me.
Deshaun Sanders.
There you go. I like it.
Listen, they're already cellar dwellers. They're already Gardino. Seriously, they're already trash. You're paying Deshaun all that money. You backed the Brinks truck into his front yard, gave him all that money. You are going to play. You're done being a creeper. You're done touching all kind of. You're playing. You're playing.
Okay.
And then when we have 3 wins going into week 16, let's bring in Sanders. Let him get beat up a little bit.
Okay.
I think it might be before week 16 they bring him in, but you know.
Yeah, I like what he said. I think Watson starts because I just think he starts and Sanders finishes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go Watson, definitely. Then I say by the end of the year, they're going to have somebody like Flacco back in camp. Because a couple of them guys, like, you might even see Dylan Gabriel there. I don't know.
Sanders is still popular in Cleveland. And the owner's going to want him to play just to bring seats.
He's hit a few times and throws those sky balls. Look out.
Yeah.
Look out.
Not trying to be funny, but the fact that they're still having a competition between Watson and Sanders, is that telling you how much Deshaun Watson has fallen off? Or is Todd Monken just
he hasn't played in 2 years. So, I mean, you got to call it something. He hasn't played
almost 3 years, Kevin.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you guys really think Sanders is all that? Like, do you think he should be playing and be mentioned? Do you think so?
I'm not going to say he's all that. When you say all that, you're talking top quarterbacks. I don't think he's all that, but I think he's serviceable.
Fellas,
I think he's better than what he is. I think he doesn't. What coaching is he getting?
Waddy said it. Because let's not forget. Waddy said it because let's not forget. Baker Mayfield, we all thought he deserved to be shipped out of the league when he was in Cleveland. Yeah. Now he goes and gets better coach and better tutelage. Now look at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think he's got talent. I do think he holds the ball to him. I don't think he has a cannon, but I do think he has talent. But I don't think he's going to tap it. And I think being in Cleveland was the worst thing that could ever happen to him.
Oh, it was absolutely the worst.
Give me the Final Four standings in the AFC North. Let's start with you, Waddy.
Oh, man. This is tough.
It's not.
It is for me. I think Cincinnati. I think I got Cincinnati 1.
Wow.
I got Pittsburgh 2, Baltimore 3, Cleveland 4.
Yeah. That's what and why I'm going with same thing Waddy said. Mark, you said if they can make 2 stops a game, they'll get.
No, Waddy did.
Okay, they'll get at least 1. And with that offense, I think this year they'll drive a little bit. So I'm going to go with them. And fellas, they're the only team that has the same coach and everything. So you know what I'm saying? I think that's going to prove valuable. So I'm going with them to win it. Like I said, Steelers number 2, Ravens 3rd, and
what do you think, Shane?
I got Steelers because they got new offense and defense. Ravens because they're always around. Bengals because of the passing game. Browns because of the Browns.
Interesting. I do think that with Patrick Graham and his defense and that plethora of skill you have now on the offense of the Steelers, I do think the Steelers number one. Okay. It's a toss-up for me at number 2 with the Ravens and Bengals. And I'm only saying this because I don't know which one of those quarterbacks is going to stay healthy or if they're both going to stay healthy. And if they both go down for any period of time, whoever their backup is going to have to keep them in the running. And if that's the case, I like the Ravens better than I like the Bengals because the Ravens have a run game.
Fellas.
And they don't have to hang that on them.
It'll be a yes or no, but what Mark said, neither one can stay healthy. If Joe Burrows gets hurt again, and they don't make the playoffs, is he labeled injury prone, or does this shine come off of him at some point? He can't live off that one Super Bowl season. He can't.
But if he gets labeled that and Lamar gets hurt, does he get labeled injury prone too?
But Lamar's won a couple MVPs. He now they're gonna be like he's too old, he can't do it. The luster will definitely leave off Lamar. But Lamar's already got a couple MVPs. You know, I kind of
align with Rasheen on the Steelers though, just because I think it's just going to be such a dynamic defense.
It's not going to be that whole thing where, like what people have been saying, we knew what they were running. You ain't going to know what they're running now.
You're not going to know.
Yeah. I think it's really going to open a lot of eyes up. I think people who were saying that they're going to, they might go 5-3 the first 8 games or whatever. I think they're going to shock some people. That's me being a little bit of a homer, but also me knowing that it's going to be a total different offense and defense, and that's going to mess with people. So, all right, we got to finish this up. We only got a couple of minutes left. Rasheen, what do you got? What's your topic around the sports world?
Joshua Baez, Cardinals. First 3 at-bats, he hit 3 home runs. Showed up for his debut with some dirty spikes. They told him he couldn't wear those spikes. They gave him a pair of red ones. They said, you need to look good. He ends up hitting the 3 home runs. They sent those cleats to Cooperstown.
You know, the next day he fell back to earth real quick the next day.
Yeah, I know. We ain't mentioning that. We don't want to mention that.
Hey, what you got, Chops? I see a little bit of something there.
Well, mine is just what's going on boxing. You got Rolly Romero versus thing this week for Teofimo for Rolly's welterweight title, and this will have major implications across the welterweight and junior welterweight. So you got a lot of guys at 140, 147. So it's that's what I'm looking at. There's some killers there. I know they're only 140, 147 pounds, but there's some good boxing lined up.
When is that? Yeah. When is that fight?
Saturday night. Saturday night. It's
Saturday night pay-per-view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Waddy, what you got?
Well, I got this mess going on down there with LSU. First of all, I don't, I got a pro athlete, talking about somebody can't wear his number, Jaden Daniels. Look, dude, you got to give that one up. You just got to leave that alone. I don't even know why you are, wanting to, not have anybody wear your number. I don't understand that. Joe Burrow didn't ask for that. He went 15-0 and won a national championship. You did not do that. And I don't get it. I don't know what what's the premises behind it. If anything, we might want to do that with the Commanders or something. I don't know. Not even that right at this point.
Probably Jaden Daniels' mom.
That's what I was going to say. Daniel's mom rather than him. But
I'm being serious.
I didn't want to say that. It's embarrassing. It is. Embarrassing.
But I would say this: USC retired your boy's number, and he refused to let that new cat wear it last year. Chris Liner, he refused to let it go. Now they have not retired Daniel's number, but I understand he's upset, which I don't get why he's upset.
No,
but here's the thing, real quick. I've heard a couple people say that they didn't do that for Burrow, and Burrow went 15-0. Burrow had 6 first rounders on his team.
Yeah, that's it.
Hold on, brother. Jaden Daniels had 5 in his entire draft. So when you're playing, we talked about how great that Hurricanes team was. where you had 6 guys, McGahee, and wonder why they went McGahee, all those cats went first round. Your boy was doing the same thing. So Burrow had a lot of help. When you got 6 first rounders on one team, that plays. But now, to me, Daniels, it does. It just looks petty. It looks petty.
I would want someone to wear my number. So when we're having that discussion, who was the best number 5?
Who wore it best? Yeah. But guys don't like competition like that. They don't look at that.
These teams are all paying more than $40 million in NIL money. Ready? LSU Tigers, they got a big tag on Jordan Seaton, who's a Montgomery County guy, by the way. Number 2, the Miami Hurricanes. They paid Darian Mensah big money, over $6 million. Mensah, yeah, I mean he was getting $4 million to do. Yeah, Notre Dame is paying C.J. Carr, their quarterback, big money. Ohio State, remember, these are all over $40 million. Ohio State with Jeremiah Smith, and Oregon with Dante Moore. Okay, Texas. We all know Manning's making like $11 million, but their second big price tag is a receiver by the name of Cam Coleman. The Texas Aggies quarterback, Marcel Reed. The Georgia Bulldogs, Gunnar Stockton, the quarterback there. Michigan Wolverines, Bryce Underwood, who they're talking about moving to tight end. And the last couple, Bryce, Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss. You got Tennessee Vols, Faison Brandon, their quarterback, making big bank. And the last one, the USC Trojan, paying over $40 million in NIL money, and their big ticket is Jaden Maeva.
Hold on, Mark.
That's insane.
Wasn't it a few years ago where Ohio State was getting flack because they had like $22 million or something like that?
These teams now
all over $40
million now. All over $40 million. So, hey, fellas, it was a great show. Preseason week 1, no, it's not about the final score. Let's face it. Finding out some questions, getting some questions answered are always at the top of there. Week 2, we'll see a little bit more evidence. We'll see a little bit more consistency. There might even be a little bit more of a game plan in pace. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey, thanks to our sponsors, Bellisario's Pizza, Scotty's Vodka, Rockwell Brewery. If you're ever in the Frederick area, make sure you support at least Bellisario's and Rockwell. And if you're looking for vodka, buy Frederick's very own Scotty's Vodka. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week on the OSP. Take care. Fellas, nice show.